last section, you guys just got done looking at solving inequalities by undoing addition or subtraction, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Basically, it was one step, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, today we're going to start looking at solving inequalities, but instead of undoing addition or subtraction, what's it say we're undoing up here?
Multiplication,
Multiplication or division. Okay, so the whole goal today is really just going to say solve inequalities using multiplication or division. All right. Now there's a huge rule to this today, and the one thing that you really need to know or pay attention to is right here. So go ahead and put some kind of a marking around that draws your attention to it. That rule right up there is going to be very important today. And I just going to kind of talk about this here quickly, why this rule is the way it is. But before I do that, how about someone to volunteer to read this for me, please? All right, Mason, you got it?
Yes. If I divide or multiply by a negative number, I must switch the signs for the inequality.
Okay, so if I multiply or divide by what kind of a number?
Negative.
Negative. If I multiply or divide by a negative number, I must switch the sign of the inequality. Okay? What's the rule again?
Carson.
What's the rule again?
Carson.
I'll keep my settings. What's the rule again?
To multiply by a negative number, switch the signs.
Okay. Let me just tell you what this is really talking about here, all right? Here's the situation. If we were talking about temperatures right here, let's just talk about temperatures. Last part of summer, it might have been in the 80s, right? Right? This winter, do you think it's going to get kind of close to 0 degrees?
Yeah.
Let's just say this winter. Let's just say this winter maybe it gets down to 5 degrees. Okay, I'll keep it positive for you. All right, none of this negative attitude stuff. Guys, if we were comparing those as temperatures right there, 5 degrees or 80 degrees, and you were making a comparison to them right there, what would you say about the warmer of the two temperatures? 80 is warmer.
Greater.
Okay, so I'm going to say 80 is the larger value between the two. So I would say 5 is less than 80 there. You guys agree with that?
Sure.
Now, watch what I do here. We've talked an awful lot about balancing equations. If I do one thing to one side, I have to do the same exact thing to the other side. So let's just talk about this, how it relates to inequalities as we would tie in maybe multiplying or dividing by a negative. Let's just pretend I divide both of these sides by -1. Okay? Process I took right here was to divide these two values by -1, right? Okay, so it should stay balanced, right?
Yeah.
All right, watch what happens here. When you take a +5 and divide by -1, what do you get on the left? -5, right? And then on the right side, if you would go 80 divided by -1, what do you get for a value?
-80.
-80. Now, I'm going to leave the comparison sign out of it for our purposes now first, but keep in mind, to both sides, I just divided by what kind of a number?
-1.
A -1. All right? Guys, if you were talking temperatures now, which temperature would you rather be in the winter?
-5.
You don't want to be in -80 degrees. You'll die, right?
Yeah.
So -5, you're saying to me -5 is warmer than -80 degrees, right?
Yeah.
Got a question here. When I took this step to multiply these numbers up here by the same value, a -1, what happened to the inequality sign from here
They switch.
to here? They
Down
switch. All right, does that make sense?
Yeah.
You understand why the rule applies then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's back up to that first page and start jumping into some examples, all right? Now I want you to hear some of the things I say very carefully today when I say it's about the process of multiplying or dividing by a negative. You might have some problems that have a negative number in there, and you will run into problems where you have a negative number in there, but you don't switch the sign, okay? So understand that this rule is about the process of dividing or multiplying by a negative number, not just if a negative shows up. So let's look at some examples and see if we can't figure this out. Jump right into this. Example 1, solving an inequality using multiplication. I'm going to rewrite this just so that you guys remember that anytime there's a slash up there, that just means m divided by -4. So the original problem is m divided by -4 is greater than 2. So if I wanted to get that variable m alone, I have to undo the division by multiplying. What am I going to multiply both sides by here?
-4.
I want to multiply by -4, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what process or what steps did I take to do that right here? Multiply both sides by a -4. Okay, the rule up here says if I multiply or divide by a negative, I must switch the sign of the inequality. So let's kind of process our way through this. -4s are going to cancel, aren't they?
Yep.
We've got m. What's going to happen right here, however?
You're gonna bring it down.
You're going to
You're
bring
gonna
that
switch.
down, but you're going to turn greater than into
Less.
less than. And the reason is?
Cause.
Just cuz, right? Because that teacher guy told us to.
Yes.
No, what's the reasoning? What process or what steps did I take here to force us
You
to have to do it?
multiplied. A
Multiplied by what kind of a number,
negative.
Selena?
A negative.
Good. So I've got to turn greater than to less than. And then how about the product of 2 and -4 on the right? What is
Negative 8.
-8. So my solution, m is less than
Negative.
-8. Now if we were taking the time right here to graph some of these on a number line, which I'll just kind of jot this down, what value would you reference right here?
Negative.
-8, right? A value of -8. Okay? And you guys did a really pretty good job on this. How about the -8? Are you open or closed on it?
Open.
Open.
Open. We're open. We're open. Okay, and then it says to graph all m values that are less than
Left.
-8. So what direction again, Mason?
Left.
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 So if I was graphing this, graphically, this is what that solution would look like, shaded to the left. Okay? I think you guys have done a nice job on that. All right?
Maybe.
Maybe. All right. So just a quick reminder, if you multiply or divide by a negative in the process of solving your inequality, you must switch the sign of the inequality. So let's look at example 2 and see what's going on here. Here we're going to solve an inequality using division. So in this example right here, I have -11t is greater than or equal to 33. So if I have multiplication to my variable t,
Division.
I'm going to divide by what?
-11.
So down here is the process. Here's my process. Boom. Dividing by -11.
It does 100.
Okay? That should be a red flag right there. You're dividing by what kind of a number?
A negative.
Negative. Okay? The -11s are gone. And I've got t.
T.
Talk to me about this greater than or equal sign.
Oh, it's less than
Same or
equal
different?
to.
Different.
Why is it going to be different than what was written?
Yeah.
Because you
Move it around.
divided.
Divided furthermore by what kind of a value?
A negative.
Okay, we're dividing by -11 down here. Okay, so the greater than or equal to part will become a less than or equal to. And then how about my quotient of 33 and -11?
22? No.
How many times will 11 go into 33, first of all?
-3.
Oh.
3 times, and a positive divided by a negative would be?
Wait,
Negative.
what?
11 times 3
Oh,
is
okay, never mind. I
33.
got it. Never mind.
It's been a long week, hasn't it, Selena?
Yeah. It's Halloween. You're making us homework on Halloween?
It's due Tuesday.
Satan. You have money to do it. You know, recording this
Somebody
right
just
on.
call me. Somebody just call me Satan.
Courtney did.
No, I did not. It was Emily.
No, you.
Corey, you
Oh,
just
yeah.
called me Satan.
No, Emily did. I thought it was.
Emily.
It was my genius
Okay,
idea.
Emily said it, but then Courtney resaid it, so I thought Courtney said it.
You called me
So, no,
what?
bend down a
It's
little bit.
gotta be
Bend
yeah.
down. There
A
you
little more.
go.
To
Little
the
more.
right, to the
Wait,
right.
a little bit.
This
Just
way.
a little bit more.
A little more.
There you go.
Well, what is it?
What's the problem?
Hold up.
You know you're recording this, right?
Well, hang on. I need a pitchfork then.
Where's your tail?
Yeah, where's your
Pointy
tail? Wait, they don't have.
You forgot the arrow on the pitchfork.
What the
That's a
heck?
I
terrible
forgot
one.
the other arrow.
Cute.
Hold on, stay there. Stay there.
Stay there.
I feel like they were recording this too.
Are we done?
I'm gonna go screenshot Courtney's.
All right. Can we go back here?
I told you you forgot the arrow.
Look like a candle.
Yeah, so you can just.
Some of you might have argued that if it was Mrs. Miller up here, that might have been her broom that she was going to ride away on. Something like that.
All my kids say, yeah.
Been an interesting day today around here, huh, Miller?
Oh, very, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is pretty tame.
Yeah. Okay, kiddos. Again, graphically, what would this look like?
-3.
Okay.
Snapchat, send me a happy holiday.
Open or closed on that?
What's that?
Closed.
Because of the equal sign, right?
Yeah.
All right, focus, focus, focus. And then which direction am I going to shade? I got
Right.
values left.
Right.
It says I want values less than -2.
Oh,
Oh.
left.
So when I talk about values less than a number, I would always go what direction?
Left.
If I talk about values more than that value, I want to go to the
Right.
right. This
Or
is saying
these
I
are
want all
stuff.
t values less than what?
3. -3.
So I'm going to go to the left of it, right? Okay, so this is what this would look like graphically. Okay?
Forward.
Guys okay so far?
Yeah.
You understand why we're switching that sign? It only happens when you multiply or divide by what kind of a number again?
Negative.
All right.
Some type
Well, let's start looking at some situations where we're not always switching the signs. So let's jump into something like this. Let's go into example 1. And suppose I had something that said, oh, I don't know, 6x is maybe less than or equal to -24. All right, let's talk here. First of all, is there a negative value anywhere in that problem?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a part where kids kind of get confused at times. I got to get the x variable all by itself, don't I?
Sure.
So, what's the coefficient of x right now? What's your coefficient for x right now?
What?
It's 6, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So don't you have to divide both sides by 6?
Yeah.
Okay, here's the part I'm going to talk about. Some people look at this problem and say, well, there's a negative right up here. So automatically they want to do what with this sign?
Negative positive.
Well, they
Flip
want
it.
to switch it the other way. But now, I told you in the beginning, I said, well, let's talk about process. Talk about process. Oh, why did I put a negative down here? I made a mistake there. We're just dividing by 6, right?
Yeah.
I don't want this here. That's what I want. I want to divide by 6 on both sides. The process or the steps that I'm taking to go ahead and solve this is to divide by what kind of a 6, gang?
Negative.
Ooh, careful. What are we dividing by down here?
Positive.
We're dividing by a positive 6. So the process says you're really dividing by a positive. So in this example right here, since you're dividing by a positive, is that less than or equal to sign going to change? What would you tell me?
No.
No. You want to keep it the same. So this process says divide by 6. Just because there's a negative in the problem doesn't automatically mean you're going to switch this. So what I end up with here is x. Tell me why I'm keeping the sign the same this time and not flipping it. Our process is dividing by a positive. Good. So I'm going to have x less than or equal to -4.
Oh.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Someone I haven't heard from today, remind me why I'm not changing the sign this time? Division of a positive. Good, Brandon. All right. Let's try another one. Let's go x divided by 5 less than -6. X divided by 5 less than -6. What am I going to do to solve this, first of all? Talk to me about the process. Multiply by 5. Everybody agree multiply by 5? Okay. What kind of 5 am I multiplying by, gang?
Positive.
All right. So what am I going to end up with on the left side here?
X.
Ooh, I don't want equals in there, do I? I mean,
9.
less than or greater than?
Less than.
Why less than?
Because it can be.
Multiplying by a positive. What's the product on the right going to be then?
No, wait, yeah,
-1.
No, multiply, kiddo.
Oh.
no. Oh, 30.
-30. Okay, x less than -30. We don't switch because in this process right here, we're multiplying by +5 right there.
That's a lot of
Okay.
circles. It looks like a donut.
He doesn't know.
All I heard was a donut.
All right. Let's go on to example 3 here.
Example three.
I'm not even gonna really write the answer down or show the work. You guys just tell me sign switching or not.
Yeah.
Why?
Because
It's a negative.
You're gonna multiply by what then?
-4.
-4. So somebody just tell me quickly, what's my solution in this? Gotta have a variable, you gotta have a sign, you gotta have a value. So what's your solution
I
gonna
know
look
the
like?
sign.
+24.
Okay, so read it to me with the x and the sign and the +24. You would say x is,
X equals, no, X is, less than.
switching the sign, very good, Heatherway, nice job. X less than 24, okay? Very good, all agree?
Yeah.
Yep, good job.
Ain't gotta worry about nothing.
That's the best.
Ain't gotta worry about nothing.
You are such a rat. You know he's recording this, right?
Oh.
Dude, you have said that about like 20 times.
I keep forgetting
Oh,
about
I'm
that.
so gonna watch this.
Okay, go. Go, just raise your hand when you know this. Don't necessarily need to show me the work on this, I'll write it down here in a second, but just raise your hand when you know the solution. Variable, sign, value. Those three things need to be explained. I've got one person that knows. I'm not going till I have 5.
It's almost there.
I just want the solution to number 4.
I think this is right.
Brandon, what do you think?
+3 divided by 3, and
Okay.
then you take the 3 divided by 9.
So -9 to us, you're dividing both sides by 3. So on the left side, those will cancel, right? Stay the same or switching?
Same.
I got some disagreement here.
It's
You guys
same.
talk yourselves through it.
It's same.
You changing your mind, Brandon?
Yeah,
Why?
because it's dividing by 3.
Good.
Hmm.
So less than or equal to, and then what value do you have on the right there, Brandon? Guys, take a minute on your own, go ahead and do those 4. Once you've got them, check with a neighbor around you, see if you agree. If you disagree, talk about why you disagree, and we'll get some people up here to do these, okay? Sound good?
Sure.
Hello. You're alright.
What do you want?
Apparently I'm the devil, so you should be
Yeah, show your
honored
thing.
that
Show your thing.
you made it through.
Gordon, did you post that on Snapchat?
I sent it to you too.
Thank God.
Ooh, did I get a snapgram?
What?
Yeah, you did. Because I sent it to everybody.
I don't have your Snapchat.
You didn't send it to me.
Dude, I don't think I want to add you on Snapchat. 'Cause, yeah.
You get really weird.
What's Snapchat? I've heard of Snapgram and InstaChat, but never Snapchat.
Did you see? Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Old.
What's that Facebooker thing called?
You guys,
Poker.
do you guys remember MySpace?
Oh my god.
Oh my
yeah.
God, I
Do you
have.
remember MySpace?
Well, I've got my own little crib at home, MySpace at home. I got MySpace at home. My house, right?
Did he really?
Not that kind of MySpace.
Courtney.
Who in the world would want their face to be a book?
Bruh.
All right.
You're making no sense today.
I'm not done.
Because you're the, apparently the devil.
Halloween brings it out in me.
I want my muffin. I want to eat it. I
Okay,
can't get up.
Mrs. Miller, who should we pick to bring the first one down for us?
Oh.
I say Roger. Don't quote me 'cause I don't love him.
You're not done?
Me!
Roger Miller.
No, I'm
Miller.
sorry.
How about you?
No, I'm
No,
not.
I
You're not done either. Mason.
Yes!
Mason, I want you to do the first one. You guys make sure you give Mason your undivided attention. Mason, when you get done with it, I'm gonna make sure that the class agrees with you.
Okay.
I'll put a little bit of heat on it. Here's the deal. I'll tell you what. I'll make you a deal. If we can, I'm not gonna say much in terms of how do you do this, or if it's right or if it's wrong. But I'll make you a deal. I'll cut your assignment in half if you get all 4 of these right. Okay.
Get him right!
So don't call on me.
Speak for yourself.
It's not working already.
So it's already wrong.
There we go.
Got it?
Yeah.
All right. All right, Mason. Mason. Looks like you got some drawings up there. How about a little play-by-play with this?
Well, I divided 4
Okay?
to each side. And I crossed that off and then brought down the y. And then he kept this part the same because it's not negative. Then 36 divided by 4 is 9.
Anybody in the group wanna agree or disagree with him?
I agree.
I agree.
You happy with it, Mason?
Yeah.
Alright, we'll talk here in a little
It's
bit.
gone. Oh, God.
Mason, pick someone to do the next one. Your choice. I don't
Yeah,
care
pick
who
someone
you
who
choose.
might-
Whoever you choose has to do it.
I know what I'm doing. Pick the smartest person. Oh, wait, I'm the next smartest person in class, aren't I? Oh,
No.
dude, I don't know what I'm doing. Don't give it to me.
Anna, are you done?
No.
Somebody pick
Emily?
a
No.
Nope, you can only pick and only one person at a time.
guess.
So
Dude.
if you don't
Yeah,
pick
go
within
ahead.
5 seconds, that automatically defaults to the. Okay, Selena, you're up.
I feel like I did this one wrong.
Oh, crap.
Oh, no.
I'm blaming you,
Here.
Selena.
I'm like, wait, who's the next smartest person in class?
Selena, if you wish, you want to write that as T over 5 is less than 3. If that makes any difference to you or not, I don't know, but
It does. It makes
you guys all understand that in the second one that says T divided by 5 is less than 3. You
Ignoring my horrible handwriting.
Oh, so
guys agree with that?
You're last.
Oh my God, what was that?
Domino.
I think I peed myself.
I think
I peed myself. Oh wait,
Come on now, we ain't
where's the thing? Oh.
that's the worst
Then
handwriting
the go.
I told you. Ignore my bad handwriting. I told you. Shut up!
Selena, focus.
And Devil.
They're not being very nice.
One.
Okay.
Children.
I want muffins.
No. Mama.
Is this still being recorded?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Wait, is this going on YouTube? Okay.
That it is.
I'm gonna watch it tonight.
Everybody watch this because we're hilarious and yeah.
Wait, what time are you putting this on?
I feel like I did this wrong.
Yes, you did.
Alright, Selena.
I did?
Hold up, I'm asking the questions. You guys are
No.
listening. Selena, are you happy with it?
No, I'm not. I told
Why are you not happy with it then?
Because that does not look right.
Okay, so
But I don't know
what
what
the
they
rest of
did
the group? Raise your
wrong.
hand.
What did I do?
Oh,
Oh
okay.
my God, I know what I did wrong. It's the wrong number. It should have been 3.
No.
Right? No?
I'm not speaking. Brandon, you got something to add to this?
You weren't supposed to divide, you're supposed to times.
What?
You're dividing up there.
Better fix
You're
it.
dividing under
You
5.
got 10 seconds, Selena. Go. How much? Ooh, 9. Oh, she's
Again.
Okay, I'm gonna give you like 20 seconds
Stop.
because you're short.
Right, less than 3 again.
Okay. Okay.
Alright, so what advice was passed your way here again, Selena?
I gotta multiply
Why do you have to multiply?
because it's divided.
So you're undoing
No
division is what
problem.
you meant to say, right?
What?
You're undoing division, right?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay.
I said you're multiplying because it was a original.
Alright, alright.
Okay. Okay. That's what I know. Okay. What? Why did I say no?
No, we're talking about something else.
He has indigestion.
Diarrhea.
Mason.
It's on YouTube.
Come on.
We should just start our own
Okay.
YouTube channel. Carson Parson.
Okay, so that's 50.
Bloopers.
Um,
That was pretty good.
no, then the whole video would be bloopers.
Exactly.
And then we'd just be dun dun
Dun,
dun. Wait, guys, we're gonna.
Oh,
that's horrible. Ignore that. Okay.
Selena, can I ask a question? Did you
What?
just try to erase that computer channel?
What?
Did you just try to erase that with your hand?
I saw.
No.
Yeah, you did. I saw your You're like, yeah. And then you're like,
Alright, let's talk about what she's got up there now. Everybody take a deep
I saw
breath.
you. You're like, yeah, you're like, I saw you. Like, you just did.
Oh God.
Not necessary. Brandon, do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Alright.
No, I don't
Selena, hand it off, third one.
Yeah, you did.
You're good. T is less than
Remember you
15.
were drawing the 5, you messed up, and you're like,
No, I didn't.
and then you reached
No,
out
I
and pressed
didn't.
back.
I drew the 5 and then it went like that.
No, you didn't.
Yes,
It was your finger.
No,
And
you
you were like
didn't.
pointing
Wait, no,
it.
just hand it off to like Courtney.
Oh well.
Dude, I don't know what I'm doing. Wait. Yeah, no, I don't know what I'm doing.
You know that.
Give it to me, guys.
Anna, you're
That's
up.
more ridiculous
Is
than
it
I did.
recording? You know.
Yeah, give it to me. I'll go there and draw.
I thought you were gonna pick me.
Oh, 8.
Anna, you have to
They're
choose
very
a boy in
small.
the back row
What? No.
that's not wearing any orange today. After you're done with your problem. Okay?
Oh, 'cause you
Orange.
just
Mark,
the
orange.
background.
I'm wearing orange.
So he's
I'm
thinking
wearing
you're
neither.
in
I
the
got
back
orange.
row.
Swing.
Technically, yeah.
Technically,
I
no.
know
I'm pretty sure he.
Alright. I
don't
did.
care.
Alright, Anna, talk me through this, okay?
I actually had no idea.
Better have some tears around here then.
Anna, I got you.
Ask Mason, just he should be your partner.
Good. You got this.
You do it good so far.
No.
Hey, Carson, what socks you
God.
wearing?
Keep going.
What?
You're
What
good.
socks you wearing today?
Hey, that's what I asked. Parson,
Oh.
what socks are you wearing today? Are you wearing those lame ones? Okay.
That is the weirdest X ever.
I'm sorry.
Why don't you wear Halloween ones? What kind of X is that? Why is it
It's
so
her
fancy?
X. Leave her alone.
Why is it so fancy though?
It's
You
the
know-
kind of perfect.
You know what? Don't be talking about other people's X's when your X
I got
looks
that
like
one
you.
right, guys.
Anna, are you happy with it?
Well, that's what I got. I don't know.
I guess.
Anna, can I ask some questions?
No.
Is your name Anna, Courtney?
Yes.
Zip it, Buck Rogers. Okay?
Negative
Anna, why'd you switch the sign?
Negative 5.
Anna, when you went up there, you said, I have no idea. Well, you're either a really good guesser or you really do know what's going on. So if you're that good of a guesser, what are my lottery numbers for this weekend? So,
325.98.
Thanks,
You
Anna.
fail. No, you.
well,
You
those are wrong,
probably
right?
just.
98 's not even an
19,200
option, so.
You'll probably lose your
I
house
don't
with
know
those
if that's
numbers.
Work next week. Here's
That's
you're
my
up.
birthday.
I don't know how to do it. I'm not even.
1129.99.
So I guess we got all problems to do, huh?
I
No,
got it.
he's working on it right
Brandon can do it.
Brandon.
Yeah,
Got
see
this.
what you did though.
It's 10,000.
down.
Mine's
Huh?
7,499.
No,
What?
I am.
Wait, shouldn't you be
trying.
there?
He had borrowed my pencil. Yeah.
No, because it's still in August.
Like crap.
I mean, because then you'd be. No, you don't.
You got your sheet, Brandon? You got her down, bud?
We should talk about it
Okay.
when I do my
I got. Do you believe
Never
me?
mind, I'm not gonna say.
Wait, in 90. No, it's 99.
Oh my
You really made your wait. Wait, then 8.
Alright.
Really think you be a junior? I'm not
Everybody listen up, please. Brandon up there, you have
Wait,
E.
I wouldn't even be a
Why
junior.
didn't you solve
Why
it?
didn't you just solve
Children.
that shit?
You didn't tell us what to do.
Yeah.
Hey,
Okay.
hey, so what does that say? It looks like because what to do.
Hey, I wanna ask him some questions. Okay, you have B is less than negative 72, right, Brandon?
Yeah.
Did I
Okay.
do this one wrong? Finish.
Brandon, first of all, tell me about the negative 72. Where'd that come
No.
from?
U times negative 8 and 9.
Negative 8, 9, okay? So you're undoing division, that's why you multiply,
Yep.
right? And then again, why did you switch greater than to less than?
Because it was negative number.
Okay, negative number, okay. You know, guys, this is not that tough, you just gotta be aware of your process, okay? I get it that it's Halloween, we're a little revved up, but we do need to focus a little bit on this. Brandon, will you do me a favor, go back to the board, you see that little blinking red light there? Kind of at the bottom in the blue taskbar?
Yes.
By the
Yeah,
time.
click on that, please. And then if you would,